I would love to hear your opinion about this sort of a program where there is one case, there is no intent, there is no account based selling. So as to say, and then there is this part. And what are the differences that you have seen go in your interactions with your customers and anywhere else?
Yeah, great question. So traditional outbound relies on a very mass volume approach, right? Like it's just you're just shooting 100 arrows in the air, and there's three targets, which is what is true, right? Only 3% of your target market is in the market right now to buy. So if
Yeah.
you're purely taking an outbound approach, then you're reducing your chances of converting to a best case 3%, right? Because you're targeting everyone. And then you, as an SDR, are one getting rejected. There's an emotional component to it as well. You're a human being, you can face only so many rejections. And two, you're burning your reputation in the market also, right? Because you're reaching out to 97 people who are actually not interested at all. And definitely that brand value definitely diminishes if you see so many emails from Factors or Sales Report or whatever company that's doing outbound. So the
Yeah.
solution to that problem can be multiple things. Like one of the holy grail things that was promised was intent data, right? Big companies came around for intent data. There was Bombura, there's a lot of these Six Sense out of the world, and a lot of these tons of very good companies that do intent data. But I feel, in my opinion, I don't know how much you agree with it or the audience agrees with it. I feel that intent data has been more of a bust, right? Because the reason why intent data doesn't really work is that you can have somebody very lower down the order in
Mm.
the company just reading an article on TechCrunch and then about CRMs, and then it will come in and inform me as a CRM automation company that hey, this company apple.com is interested in buying a CRM, while it's just some bored Apple employee reading a CRM article on a Friday
Yeah.
afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Third party intent hasn't really worked in my opinion.
Mm.
So what then remains is your own first party intent. What is first party intent? Your website visitors. Right? They're coming to your website for a reason, right? They're reading your blog. They're becoming familiar with your name, and they're getting indoctrinated by your content. So when you're doing like when you're combining this kind of inbound with an outbound approach, which is soft, right? You're not pushing for a meeting. It's important to not push for a meeting, but just trying to get a dialogue going with that company. I
Yeah.
feel that's the best conversation that you can have because these are probably of those 3%, right? If they're not in those 3%, then they're in the top 20% at least. And then from here, your conversion rates will at least 3 to 4x, right? If not 5x, because you are only targeting those buyers at the bottom of the pyramid that are already motivated to buy something, if not your product or that
Yeah.
problem that you're facing.
Correct, correct. Absolutely. And one more thing to add on the intent part is, yeah, third party intent is like, it's very far away from reality. And that's why first party intent, like your website visitor identification, account identification, that combined with second party intent, like your ads, and then third party intent, like G2 or anything like that, is very important. And even within first party, there are like tiers of
Mm,
intent, as much as I've seen. So if comes to my website, looks at my blog, I might not reach out to them. But
yeah.
if it's on my pricing page is and has spent some amount of time, a significant amount of time reading my pricing, going into the tiers of pricing, then I'll definitely ask my SDR to go and reach out, and I'll also see where they came from, direct, non-direct, and all of that. One problem with intent data platforms is another thing that I've also noticed is that it's always what they tell you,
Mm,
right? I don't know how true is it with everything, but whatever intent data tools that I have seen or have played around is that they give you a number. This is the
mm,
score. This company has engaged with you like at 50%. You don't know where is that score actually coming from,
sure.
right? Have you made that score? No, right? But at Factors, what we have done is it took us a lot of time to build that feature because this was a major problem. We didn't want to keep the customer in blindsided that this is the number, you take it and do it. But actually, it took time to build out as well, as much as I've learned from the product team and all, that you give the number yourself.